them during the course of the meeting. Just a reminder for members of the public who want to address the board, there are slips out in the outer room there. If you'd be kind enough to fill those out, put your contact information in there for purposes of a follow-up. With that, Kelly?
Cheryl Armstrong. Here. Jeff Branson.
Here.
Dave Earp.
Here.
John Hedges.
Here.
Ashley Overton. Here. Jake Uphoff.
Here.
And Dale Ryder.
Here. All right, we will proceed first with the reception of visitors. Item 2.1, 2.18, presentation of the Mattoon High School Building Trades Program. Put that out there, that I know. We just turn it over to Mr. Hackett.
Yep. Mr. Hack, you'll take over.
Oh,
You or your kid. Just hit the space bar for each slide.
See what you added to this. All right, I brought a couple of juniors I have this year. This is Tyler Hackey and Mitchell Clapp. They've been two outstanding students right now to start the year. I'm going to let them talk a little bit about this year's house and what we've done so far. I guess this is my 25th year of doing this, so it's been at it a little while. We are 1105 Meadowbrook Court, which is southwest of the high school. We've been there not last year, but about 4 years prior to that. And then it is going to be a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house and around 1,900 square foot. So it's going to be really nice. We're moving right along. We're around 52 students. And this is some just progress from this year. You guys kind of want to talk about how things are going and where we're at?
So, we started off helping out with the footers, spread concrete there, and then the walls here for the crawl space. We helped set the walls there and then pour concrete. And then after that, we set these big beams underneath here. Set 2 big beams on each side, and then we set floor joists across from there. Then after that, we put the sheeting down so you don't fall through the floor joists. And then started building the walls, laying them out, putting all these up. I don't know if this is from today or not, but we got a couple more put up today, and it's moving pretty fast in a short amount of time. But next, we'll start, once we finish the walls, start sheeting out the walls and getting the. We got trusses coming next Wednesday. After that, start putting the roof on.
Mr. Hackey, can you have these two young men introduce themselves, please?
Oh, I'm Tyler Hackey. I'm Mitchell Clapp.
You got one, Chris?
There's a couple of last year's.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, that's this year's.
So this is just off the blueprints profile. We will lower the pitch of the roof a little bit, so it's going to look pretty close to that right there, the front of the house. It's going to, the lot is a little bit odd shaped, so it's kind of long and skinny up front. So it's really long in the back, and as you can see there. So eventually the kids will be broken down into rooms once we get settled in a little bit, and then they will be responsible for working on that room from here to the end for the most part. And, they take a lot of pride in that. They even get a little competitive. That one group gets a little ahead of them, so which that's fun. They'll do the drywall, the painting, the trim, all the windows, all inside the room. If their room has flooring, they will be in charge of putting a hardwood floor, the flooring in the bathroom, or wherever it might be. So, of course, drywall is a big project for us. They'll work on the wiring and electrical also. So
it's open concept from dining room, kitchen, living room, or?
yes. So we're turning this study into a bedroom, so that way we can call it 4-bedroom.
Sure.
Then it's not as open as we have in the past, but we do have a living room here. But there is a small division between the living room and the kitchen with this little bar area here, and then the dining room. And then there'll be a nice covered front porch and back porch also. And then all 3 bedrooms on that side. We've widened the garage, added an extra 3 feet. So that's actually made these bedrooms pretty big. So, and you want to show them how far we are since you were last class? How much we got done?
We just started on these 2 walls here today. That's what my group was doing. So we got all those lined out, and then I think those will be ready to go up tomorrow. And then we started on this garage wall too, didn't we? So they started working on this one and this one here. And then, they're doing cap plates on top of the walls, which is just another board on top of them. And I think that's,
Most of this section is complete right now for the walls. The OB didn't know it yet, but we build the garage walls tomorrow. All those studs have to be custom cut. And so we want to build that and get those in before we get too many walls up there so we can carry them out. So
So do the kids get to read blueprints or learn how to read the blueprints?
So we spend some time in the classroom. Well, I'll give them, well, one more detail than this, of course. And we have some 2x4s and some chalk, and they go and practice laying them out. We do that for several days there, and so that when they come out, it's not their first time. And so these guys got a hang of it pretty quickly and got the math figured out. So, which has been nice, and that they could put that into practice. You want to show them when you guys did it today?
So this one that connects to the porch, has these two doors here and leads into the pantry and this, master bedroom here. But it was a really long wall. We got it all, started it today and got it built and put up in about an hour and a half, so we were flying on it.
That's a question, and then I have a comment. So there are 52 students doing it, correct? But like, are they there, are you there an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours? Like, how many people are there at a time?
They're 2-period classes, so I have 3 classes,
Okay.
two groups in the morning and one after lunch.
Gotcha.
And so that 52 is divided up, for those three classes as such. And this is essentially 4 in 1, because it's construction skills 1, construction skills 2, and then dual credit through Lakeland 1 and 2 also.
And then I wanted to say, what an awesome, amazing opportunity you guys have to go out and learn those skills, because people are looking for contractors all the time, or handymen, or things, just people who can do whatever you're doing. I'm assuming that you'll all go out and build your own homes.
Hit it one more time, I think, and I'll talk about this one. Or you can too. You can talk about this one, Troy. This is last year's.
Yes. But yeah, like Ryan said, this is last year's house. I really think it turned out really, really nice. It's really pretty modern looking house. Pretty much everything you see there, the kids and I, we did. I mean, from the garage door, the siding, to laying the floor in the kitchen, installing the lights, cabinets and so forth. Even the railing on the back and the post, we did there the last couple weeks of school. It really, really turned out pretty nice, real beautiful. 4-bedroom too with this, there's a room up here, which is really pretty. The sun comes in there, it's got a barn door there. It's got the first master bedroom and then 2 smaller bedrooms off of it like that. So this year will look a little different. Of course, it's a little different layout, but it'll still have some type of engineered hardwood floor. We haven't quite decided on the color siding we're going to do this year. This year's will have white windows instead of black. But yeah, that one was really nice.
Yeah, and we haven't updated the board since we went out to sale in March, so we wanted to throw this on there. The board approved the minimum price of $275 back in March. We went ahead and listed it for $285, and our closing price was $316,000. So we closed on it in July, which is a little later than we normally do, but a lot more landscaping on this house just because of the lot we were on. It was low. We had to bring in a lot of dirt. So we got it sold and ready to move on to the next one. Great job, guys.
They're all moved into it.
Yes, they are.
Is there any other questions?
Any other questions from the board?
Is there any prereqs to being a building trades?
No. We've got all kinds of different levels. Some that's never picked up a solid drill before, to some second-year students that have some experience, or some that's worked on their own with parents or whatever. So.
Is there generally like a max of students you can take, or is it?
He's over what he
I don't want
wants.
to, there gets to be quite a few in there, and it gets a little.
It's mostly juniors and seniors, though.
Juniors and seniors, yes. Yep. I do have one female, and she's hanging in there and doing a good job this year. Usually I'll have 1 or 2 girls, and she's in Mitchell's class. She holds her own.
Whatever, HGTV.
Other questions from the board or comments? Okay, yes, I want to make a comment. I've known Mr. Hackey for years. I coached with him for years, and I've also had the opportunity not just to watch him work with boys and girls in the cross-country program and the girls' track program, but I've also been around watching this. I've gone over there at times in past when the kids were working, and he has a special way about him. There are lots and lots of people in our district staff, teachers, who have this as well. This is a great opportunity to highlight that. And before I go any further, he couldn't do what he does if it weren't for the Angie Hackey sitting right there. She had a clear vision, a line on me. She was looking around, giving me eye contact. So, but Troy, thank you for what you do. I cannot imagine the number of kids who feel better about themselves. They know more. They have achieved more than they thought they could because you were teaching them or coaching them. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you guys.
Daniel.
Yeah.
I know this is out of order, but this is the 75th year of the building trades class this year. The first house was 1950.
Thank you. No, thank you for saying that. Yeah, amazing, amazing, great program. All right, guys, thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. Item 2.1B on our agenda is the presentation of the Mattoon Middle School Honors for Association of Middle School Educators, Schools of Designation in Illinois Horizon Schools to Watch.
Just hit escape, Dave.
Yeah.
At the top somewhere.
Oh, you're right here.
To the right.
I just couldn't reach. Claire's got it. All right, well, hello. Claire and I are here tonight to present to you and share with you some really exciting news. Mattoon Middle School has been recognized for 2 state and national awards over this last couple of months. The first recognition that we had. There it goes, yay, okay. So the first recognition is our Schools to Watch, and it was a redesignation this year, and we had a great team that came together to help us with this process. We had Mr. Arnold, Mrs. Vogel, Mr. Young, Melissa Wheeler, and Jacob Fryman were all part of this team to make this redesignation work. The exciting thing about the Schools to Watch, it's a national award, and it's also a place where Mattoon Middle School has spent a lot of time and it has a lot of history with. We've been a part of the Schools to Watch since about 2006, so we have a nice long history being part of this organization and learning from other middle schools around the country.
We also had feedback from students and parents that came in and went through the rubric with us and gave input on how we could grow and get better.
And then while the Schools to Watch is a national recognition, we also have connected with Schools to Watch is the AIMS, which is the Association of Illinois Middle Level Grades. And it has its own Schools to Watch connected to our state. And that is called the Illinois Horizon Schools to Watch. And we are going to be going in October to the AIMS conference, and we will be presenting there, and we will also be receiving our Illinois recognition there. And then another one that we just recently found out about a few weeks ago is our AMLE Schools of Distinction. And this one had a very similar process to AIMS. Last year, we sent a team to the conference in Nashville, the national conference. We had Mr. Chris Dyer, Mr. Arnold, and Claire went and represented Mattoon Middle School and presented. And then they came back and we were very excited about the connections with AMLE. And we're going back to the conference this year. We're lucky it's a little closer. It's in Indianapolis. And we're going to take a team there. We're going to present, and we'll also be at the awards banquet and receiving our recognition there. So while we are very proud of this recognition, we're most importantly, we are excited that we are able to connect with other middle level educators because it really has been a support. They offer professional development for our teachers, different resources that we can use as a team. and just kind of understanding, you know, the uniqueness of that middle level child. So we are very excited about the opportunities that this brings to us. Any questions?
Any questions from the board? This is not a softball. What would you two, as the leaders of the building, consider to be the keys to success like this? What makes you better than you were and will make you better tomorrow than you are today?
Well, that's what's interesting about these programs, because both of these programs are based on continuous improvement. So we're able to look at what we've done in the past, kind of do kind of a needs assessment, and refine our goals and build our goals on what our current students need. So I think that's what helps, is that we are constantly looking at what can we do better and how can we grow, and what our current students need.
Yeah, to piggyback off of what Tara's sharing, they had a group of 8 to 10 people that come from middle schools across the state and from Ames, the statewide organization, that conduct an audit, right? So they go through this process and request information, seek feedback from parents, seek feedback from students, seek feedback from staff. And I think it's a testament to, you know, you saw, and Tara mentioned this in 2006, this is an ongoing process that I think staff understand the value of that, and they're the ones that sustain the improvement efforts, you know, year over year. And this is a big deal, because this is I think you guys are the 64th school in the nation, middle school in the nation, to be designated as a school of distinction. So, you know, and that's been going on for 5 years now, and to be in that elite, you know, to receive that elite honor, I think it's a testament to leadership. I think it's a testament to your staff, to our students, of course, and to our larger community. So, well done.
What kinds of things are they looking at? You know, are you looking at academics, culture, how many groups you have, and what kinds of things are
It
assessed?
looks at a lot of different pillars. It looks at academics. It looks at even our behavior data. It looks at student engagement. It looks at our assessments. It is a broad.
The systems we have set up, our family outreach, what students
great.
are involved in clubs and activities, our schedule, everything. How much time we allot for different things, what activities we offer, what classes we offer.
They audit our middle school schedule, and they look at how much time is in core compared to what essentials we offer to help that middle school child be that full-rounded child and student to progress. It really is a true audit of what we're doing every day.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Next up on the agenda, item 2.2, non-agenda visitors. This is the opportunity, as I mentioned during the last meeting, for the public to address the board. I don't have any slips. Are there members of the public who would like to address the board on any issue? Seeing none, we will move on to item 3 on the agenda. That's the consent agenda. The following items are on the consent agenda. This does require board action. Under 3.1, approval of minutes. Approval of the minutes from the regular board meeting of August 12th of this year, as well as the special board meeting from August 27th of this year, and the executive session of August 27th. Item 3.2, under financial and payment of bills. 3.2A, presentation of the bills for approval. Item 3.3, approval of overnight trips. Those include MHS JROTC 3rd Brigade Regional Raider Meet, September 26th and 27th of this year in Marshfield, Missouri. The MHS Drama Club to the Illinois High School Theater Festival, January 8th through the 10th, 2026 in Bloomington. The MHS JROTC Cadet Leadership Challenge, June 1st through the 5th, 2026 in Marcellus, Illinois. If I mispronounced that, that's on the Vice President. Item 3.4, the enrollment report. Item 3.5, approval of the board policies presented August 12th of this year. Item 3.6, appointment of Mr. Jacob Uphoff as the board delegate to the 2025 IASB Delegate Assembly. Congratulations, Jacob. And item 3.7, approval of the Freedom of Information report. Are there any comments or questions as regards the consent agenda? If not, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Motion by Cheryl Armstrong. Is there a second?
Second.
second by Dave Erb. Discussion? Kelly?
Branson,
Yes.
Erb,
Yes.
Hedges,
Yes.
Overton,
Yes.
Uphoff,
Yes.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes. Item 4, reports and recommendations of the business manager. Mr. Gear, you're up again.
On the same slide, so let's see if this works. All right, 4.1, board action to approve the fiscal year 2026 budget for Mattoon School District, Coles, Cumberland, Moultrie, and Shelby County. So once again, we took questions in the budget hearing earlier. This again is kind of the spreadsheet of broken down by funds. But you've already seen this tonight, so I'm just asking for, it is recommended the board approve the presented budget.
Okay, first of all, do I have a motion to approve the fiscal year 2026 budget for the district?
Yes.
Motion by Jacob Uphoff. There is a second by Jeff Branson. Is there a discussion on the board? The only comment I'm going to say is thanks to Mr. Gear, his people, to to everybody here. Everybody's worked together to put this together. The 180-day mark is there are people who look at that and they say, well, that's just a target that's given to us by Springfield, and why does that matter? Unless you believe that our state government is completely reliable in what it will do for this district, that's a really important number. And I think I interpreted Mr. Gear's answer to John's question earlier to mean that we will probably go from 177 to 178 if the projections are right.
I'd say 185.
Okay, well, that's my, okay. Well, okay, I'm
not making promises.
Oh, I took that as a promise, so we'll stop there. That's a great number. This is a responsible budget. It meets the needs of the district and is responsible for the taxpayers as well. So we have a motion, we have a second. Is there any other comment on the board? Kelly?
Erb,
Yes.
Hedges,
Yes.
Overton,
Yes.
Uphoff,
Yes.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes.
All right, 4.2, board action to accept donations from the Riddle and Williams PTOs. So back in the spring, we talked about new playground equipment for the kindergarten playgrounds at both Williams and Riddle. If you've driven by them lately, the structures are up at both. It's completely done at Riddle. We should finish this week or next week at Williams and have those fully functional. I've seen a video of Dustin being pushed around on the merry-go-round by kindergarten students. And so it's all functional at Riddle, and they really enjoy it. When we
Did it break?
I wasn't.
Sure was. When we talked about this in the beginning, Riddle and Williams PTOs do fundraisers every year. They talked about when they did last year's fundraiser is taking some of this money that they were going to make and assist with the payment of these two playgrounds. So tonight we're asking that we accept a $10,000 donation from each of the PTOs, $10,000 for Riddle and $10,000 for Williams, to assist with the cost of these playgrounds. So we just need board approval to accept these donations.
First of all, on behalf of the board, thanks to the PTO organizations for both Riddle and Williams. Do I have a motion to accept the donation of $10,000 from Riddle and Williams PTO organizations? Motion from Ashley Overton, second.
Second.
Second from Cheryl Armstrong. Discussion on the board.
I agree. That's awesome.
Kelly?
Hedges, Overton,
Yes.
Uphoff,
Yes.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Erb,
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes.
All right, last one for me tonight, 4.3, board action to approve the purchase of an activity bus. We purchased one 2 years ago. We've used it, we're using it more and more for our activities, taking the tennis team, golf team, smaller groups that don't necessarily need a bus, but need more than one Suburban. So we can take one activity bus rather than two Suburbans. Saves on some mileage, it makes it a little bit easier for coaches, so we don't split up. All the kids as a team are on one bus. So the purchase or the price is included in the fiscal 26 budget that you just approved 5 minutes ago. It would be delivered in November if we purchase it, and it would be purchased from Southern Bus and Mobility utilizing the state bidding procedure. So That is summarized here, but basically a summary of this is that the state does a state bid every year so that they can go out, so not every school has to go out and bid for these activity buses. So the state does one bid, gets a bid from multiple companies and can reach out to many more people than we probably could as an individual district. And the mobility bus is who got the state bid. So that's who we purchased the last one from as well. So price is set by them and the state has already approved it, so we don't have to go out to bid for something like this because the state's already done it for us. So the administrative team recommends the approval of purchase of the activity bus.
Do I have a motion to approve the purchase of a school activity bus?
Yes.
Second, who said yes? Motion by John Hedges, second by Dave Earp. Is there a discussion on the board?
How many, sorry, I was gonna say, how many students are able to ride on?
14 students and a coach. And then it's got a place in the back for all their equipment that's
Okay.
strapped in. It's very nice to have.
And then, so this is our second one then?
This will be our second one, and that'll probably be as many as we need. Yes, it does. Makes everything easier.
Do you get them wrapped, like a wrap?
We're talking about wraps. We mentioned that to somebody the other night. See if we can get on this schedule.
Any other questions from the board? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Callie, can you please call the roll?
Overton.
Yes.
Uphoff.
Yes.
Armstrong.
Yes.
Branson.
Yes.
Earl.
Yes.
Hedges.
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gear. Item number 5 on tonight's agenda, reports and recommendations of the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, Dr. Scosi.
Thank you very much. The board has before them the September personnel report. Item 5.1, certified resignations. Thomas Schneers resigned from William Elementary School special ed teacher effective September 9, 2025. We have some certified appointments. Amy Lee Block, recommended substitute teacher effective immediately. Lori Carroll as a substitute teacher effective immediately. Jacob Fryman as a substitute teacher effective immediately. And Kim McQueen as a substitute teacher effective immediately. Also recommend classified resignations. Carter's resigns from Elementary School 101 parapro effective immediately. And Mary Martin is retiring as Mactoon Middle School custodian effective October 10th, 2026 after 18 years of service to our district in that capacity. So wish her well. Appreciate her work. Again, classified appointments, recommending Billy Evans as Williams Elementary School supervisor effective immediately. And Jenna Westerport as Riddle Elementary School supervisor effective immediately. Valerie Dow as substitute school bus driver. And John Fitzpatrick as a substitute school bus driver effective immediately. That's big, 2 substitute bus drivers. The rest of the folks here, Amy Becker, volunteer, all the way through Heather White. And those folks all recommended as volunteers effective immediately. That continues to grow. We're excited about that. Extracurricular resignations, Chris Young resigning Mactoon Middle School Lighthouse Coordinator effective August 20th, 2025. And then extracurricular assignments, recommending Timothy DeVee as Riddle Elementary School Youth Sports Soccer Coach effective immediately. Whitney Hirano as Mactoon Middle School Cross Country Coach effective immediately. Andrew Jackson as Mactoon High School Freshman Boys Basketball Coach effective immediately. Randy Overhill as Mactoon Middle School National Junior Honor Society sponsor effective immediately. And Kinley Scott as Riddle Elementary School Youth Sports Soccer Coach effective immediately. Are there any questions?
I just had one question on 5.1A, the Williams Elementary self-contained. Couple tours I've gone through there and the staff's always commented that that's a tough position to fill. My understanding is those kids came from Easy at one point. Is that?
I can't really get into where kids come from, but as far as it's a self-contained special ed classroom, and so we have a variety of different services that we provide in that classroom per the student's IEP. And that could range from anything from, autism to functional skills to potty training.
Let me rephrase the question. Are there children that go to like Hawthorne or Easy from here, or what designates?
Do we have students that go to those facilities that are our school, that are our students that go to those schools for services? Yes, we do. And that's a direct result is an IEP puts together, makes that decision with the educators, the parents, sometimes the students at the table. And based upon an assessment, see if they qualify for services based on
I think maybe I kind of understand what you're asking. Because I know the hearing impaired program is at Williams, correct?
Correct.
And that's, okay. That one, I know that takes people from other districts. Does the Williams cross categorical?
No, but that's our
Those will
program.
only match.
That's our program.
Is that what kind of you were asking?
Yeah, is that something that in past they would go to easy, or is that something we've always had, or?
You know, those, we expanded, if you recall last spring, I said we increased our special ed department, we increased, we had 5 new special ed teaching positions we added for this upcoming school year from last year. And that's because, especially from early childhood into the early elementary, our staff was seeing an increase of skills that were functional, that is, things that needed to be taken care of, that students could learn so they could function within a classroom setting. So they were seeing that. We put a plan together through our special ed programs, continuing services to address that. And that was part of that, to expand those services and our continuing those services. And that was one of the classrooms that we developed as a functional special education classroom for that K-1 to grade level. So the self-contained classroom work on those functional skills specifically. Does that help clarify?
Yeah, I'll touch base. I'll put some notes together
Yeah.
and send you an
Yeah.
official.
And then, yeah, happy to help and chat Arnold too. That as well.
So do we have a replacement for him? Is that-
Not yet.
Okay, so what are those
Position
kids doing?
posted.
What are those kids doing?
That position was posted internally for the contract, so that position was filled by an internal candidate. So that other position, the LBS 1 or special ed position, is posted currently now. We're waiting for that posting to be up, and then we'll assess and look to fill that. What we'll do is get a sub until we got certified to do that, until we fill the position.
Dave, how
Good
many,
question.
how many pairs did we add this year to help with?
Those classrooms,
areas?
there's usually 1 to 2 pairs in the classroom, or if the IEP requires a one-on-one para, there's an additional pair with that. So, with those 5 classrooms, some of those were resource positions, 2 of those were self-contained. So right there's 4 pairs for sure, 2 pairs per classroom, in addition to if there's any one-on-one needs that were required for the student's IEP.
And how are we evaluating that across the district where extra pairs are needed?
We'll look at the caseload, if the IEP requires it, we look at that, and then we look at what's required for services of a program. Do that self-contained, there's more than one in there. Based, if it's based on the services that are there, it's more of a mental disorder in the program, we have that. We usually have 2 pairs in there as well. And then we look at if students graduate, if they have more than 1 pair, and they graduate or left the district, then we assess that, see if there's other positions that another pair left, and we fill that with nutrition. And we do that typically, and we sit down and we look at, what we have currently are filled typically in late July, early August. And then look what students that enrolled, students that didn't come back, and then adjust accordingly.
So he has one of the very important positions in the district to be able to help and support teachers.
Yeah, for sure. And we're fortunate in our district, we have, a large parapro category position in our district.
Yeah, I think it's important to note too, those individualized education plans or IEPs are what drive those needs, right? So if there is a staffing need, that's typically that IEP team that's making that recommendation. And as Dave alluded to, that team consists of parent, administrator, classroom teachers. So, there's a lot of conversation that occurs around that. I actually think we're up 7 or 8, Ryan, in total for the district and paraprofessionals this year as compared to prior.
When we negotiated in spring, I think we had, I can't remember, it was 72 or 82, and then we went to 80 or 90, so I believe we had it.
We have those classes.
So, and the board will note too, as you've seen the declining enrollment across the district over the last 2 or 3 years, like our special education population has increased, the need has increased. So that's the sliding rule, if you will, when it comes to how are we staffing for those positions based upon the student need.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? See none, then I would recommend the board accept the personnel report as presented.
Do I have a motion to approve the personnel report as presented? Yes, from John, motion from John Hedges, second from Cheryl Armstrong. Discussion on the board? John?
Paul,
Yes.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Erb,
Yes.
Hedges,
Yes.
Overton,
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes.
Okay, then item 5.2, board action to approve memorandum of understanding with Matthew Education Association. Board has a copy of that. We've been working on this for several months with the association. We're going to serve director, our legal counsel. And basically, it's to memorialize a practice that was well in place before I was here in 2003. It continues and lines up with board policy 5.202. It pertains to school service personnel, specifically your speech pathologists, school psychologists, social workers, and guidance counselors. And were replaced on the salary schedule based upon education degree and if they were paid for a paid internship prior to employment. Your decision to service their account. So I would recommend the board accept the motion and take action to approve that memorandum of understanding.
Questions from the board for Dr. Stossel? Thank you. One of the things that we are richly blessed with here is a good working relationship between the administration and the MEA. I've been around long enough to see when administrators and staff didn't get along, and nothing's right if they're not getting along. So thank you to everyone who's worked so hard to put this together. So with that, is there a motion?
Yes.
Motion from Jacob Hoff, second. Dave Erb, discussion. Callie?
Armstrong,
Yes.
Branson,
Yes.
Erb,
Yes.
Hedges,
Yes.
Overton,
Yes.
Uphoff,
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Stossel. Item 6 on the agenda, reports and recommendations of the superintendent.
Yeah, I'm with you. So, the board, maybe a few years, actually, it has been a few years, since 2012, when the state associations started advocating for a better funding mechanism for the state, for school districts across the state. So that began back in 2012, and it was tagged Vision 2020 at the time. So we're now approaching what's the next 10 years look like, and that same group, which is also added, I think I included this in some of the confidential notes, there's some additional professional organizations that have been added over the course of the last couple of years to promote the continued efforts that are for public education. So Claire's going to turn to this.
The down arrow, try that.
Try both of those.
Hold it.
Tim, mine
There must be.
didn't work when I went to slideshow initially. I escaped out of it and went back in.
Came back.
Fine.
Here, let me just walk.
Sometimes you just go through those, yeah.
So, again, as I mentioned, this began with Vision 2020. This is the second version of that, and asking school boards across the state to support this and the efforts to advocate for public education. Here's a list of all of those professional organizations. It's actually listed in the resolution, which I'll bear you from listening to me read through the 2-page resolution. But as you can see here, the board's professional organization, the Illinois Association of School Boards, has also promoted this, as well as the Illinois Association of School Administrators, the Illinois Principals Association, the Illinois Association of School Business Officials. Those educators in the room understand we love the acronym, so I'm just showing off the skills. The mandate relief. So one thing that's really interesting about this, and I think this picture is trying to depict this here in the sense of the amount of legislation that has been passed from 2000 and what's shown here is a book from 2024, but this is Illinois School Code. And it's probably over quadrupled in the size from 2000 to 2024. You know, Cheryl mentioned going back to 1989 for some equalized assessed evaluation. Obviously, we know that things continue to grow. But sometimes the legislation, I think, probably starts with good intent, but also becomes very limiting for us as school districts. So another key piece of what this group is trying to do is to advocate for making sure that there's local control in some of those decisions. So here are the 4 key areas that the resolution outlines. Promoting future-driven skills that allow for more college and career exploration. We're going to hear a little bit more about that. after I sit back down. Enhancing student safety and well-being. One of the things that we're blessed with, as Ryan mentioned, we have about $3.4 million in that 51.9 that he presented earlier that comes from the 1% sales tax. And that $3.4 million is used for facilities. What the state is attempting to do is to give consideration for additional flexibility for that to be used for school resource officers, as well as other building implementations to enhance school security. Number 3 here, attract and retain high quality and diverse educators, and the pipeline, as we know, as Dave presents each month, we're always looking for high quality educators, and there still continues to be a shortage in that area. I joked with Dave last week when he shared that, hey, we're posting for an LBS 1 at this point. I said, I think my chances for winning Powerball may be greater than us finding an LBS 1 in September. But it's important. And why is it important? Because we need to find and train and grow new leaders to be able to fill these positions to serve our students. And then finally, to promote curriculum and instructional flexibility to meet the unique needs of our local community. One thing that I think this board is well aware of, with competency-based education that allows us greater flexibility. It also gives us an opportunity to see what you saw with the 2 students that were here this evening. We're able to promote those programs that we feel are important at the local level. The shared accountability piece, this was a big component of Vision 2020, and this is also a big component of Vision 2030. To reform the assessment system, which has been done. We were waiting until the 11th hour this past year for cut scores to come out. As it related to IAR, we've made some changes at the high school level from an SAT to an ACT. There's also some additional assessment metrics that are going to be calculated more so for student growth and incorporating the whole child versus the reliance solely upon one test at one moment in time. So again, this group is advocating for that accountability system to be capturing all of those components. The reform the current accountability system and provide additional local flexibility, and then reforming the mandate process to ensure those implementation procedures and promote flexible and local decision making. And finally, the predictable funding piece. Again, I think this is one thing that Ryan has seen from his role here recently, but prior to 2017, the ability for us to predict what we would receive at that time was called general state aid. And that was used kind of as a political football, if you will. And we did not receive that funding, and it really impacted our school district. And as Ryan's pointing out, we're starting to see the impact that evidence-based funding has allowed us to be able to do. We're getting to the right side of where we want to see things with a $24 million fund balance. Yes, that is a lot, but if you look at a $51 million annual budget, that's not half of what that should be yet. So the continued work towards this and the promotion of predictable funding is extremely important, I think, from your vision and your perspective, but also from an administrator's as well. Establish equitable statewide funding sources for capital and safety needs. Again, this was, I guess, what the group is trying to advocate for is how are we going to make sure that we sustain that all school districts across the state should be able to have safe learning environments for their students. And then enhancing financial flexibility, which goes back to, we do have those 2 existing bonds, and one of those came during that financial downturn. They're known as alternate revenue bonds. I think they expire in 2033. And the impact that that's had across the district was that it's 20 years out. So we took those bonds out in 2013, and we're still paying off on those. So as long as we have some flexibility to be able to ride out the wave, as Dale mentioned, our reliance upon the state government is pretty heavy here in Mattoon based upon our student population. But if we can best hedge against that in our predictions and the use of evidence-based funding, I think that better serves our district and our goals for the future. So just to recap, keeping students safe, maintaining a pipeline of high-quality educators, enhancing post-secondary success, the accountability piece, as well as the measurement of what is working. So one last thing with this, I think as members that are attending the Triple I Conference in Chicago. I think this is a key piece for you to reach out. You can also talk with our legislator and senator about this, but I think it's important for us to advocate and for this board to make sure that we continue to promote what we've seen, the advantages of that evidence-based funding piece, as well as those accountability measures. So any questions with this? I just ask for your permission. They will ask for a roll call vote to approve the resolution when we're done.
Did you have one of the board members read the resolution?
Do you want to?
No.
I do have a question.
Sure, Cheryl, go ahead.
Can you go back to the first part of what you said? So all school districts in the state of Illinois are asked to vote on this?
They're asked to promote this. So it is not, it's bipartisan. It is, actually, I believe, Dr. Thompson from our Regional Office of Education is a member of this committee that has been advocating for this from a statewide lens. So it is, I think over 500 school districts currently have already approved this resolution out of the 850 or so school districts in the state.
Thank you.
Do you know how many bought in to the last vision, 2020?
I don't off the top of my head, but I'm sure I can get that for you.
I'm just, I don't know, ballpark figure.
Sure.
Other questions from the board? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the resolution as presented?
Yes.
From John Hedges, is there a second? Second from Cheryl Armstrong, discussion on the board? Cal?
Branson,
Yes.
Erb,
Yes.
Hedges,
Yes.
Overton,
Yes.
Uphoff,
Yes.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item 7, reports and recommendations of other district personnel. We have a lift update. Mr. Butler, Mr. Brown, and other lift students.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
great, please go ahead.
Well, thank you guys, first of all, I met most of you and for your patience in this transition of Mr. Schaefer, McLean Schaefer, into my transition into the Lyft interim director. Ty Butler, for anybody in the audience that doesn't know me. First of all, you got some great things going on here at this school district. I sat through, who couldn't sit and listen to high school kids talk about building houses forever? And the nice thing about it is I get to see that every day that I'm here as an interim, you work a day or 3 and then you're off a day. But I get to see that every day with these facilitators and these students that do amazing things. And I have to say that, the start of the school year is strong. Even with all of the odd start with the director leaving and a new one coming in and not knowing what days that director is going to be here, I try to inform the facilitators weekly on the days that I'll be here. But just to listen to some of the things that I've heard from your students and your teachers, like I said, who couldn't just listen all day long? Nothing against Ryan's presentation. I could listen to that building and trades forever.
Exciting.
Okay. Mr. Brown will take over here. We do have Laney Nolte and Brayley Baker and Lori Gear and Shad Huddleston, and Mr. Brown will take over the PowerPoint here.
Yeah, so this has been shared once before when we got this designation, but we're entering our second year as the 27th Area Career Center in Illinois. What that means is a little extra funding that comes with that, but it also helps us with other things that we're doing as far as EPs is concerned.
And I think if you put that into perspective, I think there's like 860 school districts through the state. There's 27 area career centers. So, that's something to be proud of too.
Enrollment efforts, this is a lot from last year. We did several school visits. That could be Mr. Schaefer going by himself. A lot of times he took a facilitator with him. We did career fairs, any of those activities that we were invited to from our sending schools. We host Exploration Day. We host one in the fall, one in the spring, where students come to Lyft and get to tour and hear all the things about the pathways that we offer. Open house, capstone night. So we have our traditional open house, and then my main thing I want to talk about on this slide is currently we are piloting doing an open house that's specific to just one floor, where we'll invite community members, future students' parents, current students' parents, business people, whoever wants to come. The one we have right now, Mr. Compton's been partnering with Ameren. So our first one will be highlighting the HVAC floor. On that night, students will be prepared to help teach community members, whoever shows up, how to replace their thermostat with smart thermostats that will actually be there present from Ameren. So people that come will be taught by our students how to install those, and then they will leave if they qualify with a thermostat to take home and go ahead and replace that in their homes. And then some of the other things that come from our communications department, our radio, our TV, ads, digital advertising, email campaigns, social media, and our neighbors. Good news, we have grown from 17 sending schools last year to 20 sending schools this year. Our 3 new ones are Ocala Valley, Altamont, and St. Anthony's. A lot of that was due to our communications floor and recruiting kids. I know that Mr. Smith went on a big campaign to try to get as many students as he could in that program. So, our current enrollment numbers, so once again, we have the 20 schools. Our enrollment is down. We are at 217 this year. The breakdown of that is we've got 120 students attending in the morning, 97 in the afternoon. We are down 6 sending school students, and then the rest of that number would be students from that too that we did not have come back. And then the breakdown over here, just as far as enrollment by floors. And then more good news. So right now, as of last year's survey, 94% of our students had a plan for what they were going to do when they left us, whether that was enrolling at a post-secondary, going to advanced training, military, apprenticeship, or straight to employment. We had students in all of those categories. We had 452 certifications and credentials earned last school year. In addition to that, what's not shown in that number, we piloted a program with Franklin Covey for micro-credential in community service, and we had over 100 students get that micro-credential as well. 201 occurrences of students participating in leadership opportunities. That could be several different things. Examples today, Mrs. Peterson asked some students if they'd be willing to lead our leadership content. 2 kids from my floor, they're not even on the leadership floor, was like, yeah, I'll take that. Did an amazing job. I was very taken back because they literally just got that content last week and rocked it like they're coming after my job. So they, well, you won't be here when they're ready, but whoever's in that seat next, people will watch for it. 254 service projects, so that includes our Grading Gold Day, but that also includes additional service projects throughout the school year. That would be when we talked about capstone on the previous slide. Students did capstones. One of them that I think I spoke to the board last year about was the mini tiny houses at the grade school. All right, next up, we're going to have facilitator update. So, Maureen, you're on.
Your thing, your stuff.
Okay, hello everybody. So I am the facilitator of childcare, and basically my biggest update is my program is growing. It's amazing. Obviously childcare is a major crisis, if you all probably know that. So anyway, so I have lots of students, which is great, but my big thing that I'm gonna be kind of working on like behind the scenes or like at home is the students who leave us, like, 'cause I know that was one of your, like we have two students that have come back, they're in college right now, that was, they're going into education, but they can sub in the daycare because not everybody can just sub in the daycare. There's lots of certifications where they have those numbers, a lot come from childcare. So we have a lot of students. I know we have one at Franklin who is a para. So several students are even in our district. So that just makes me proud that they want to come back, work for our district. Some are not going on to school, some are. And so I'm just anxious to reach out to all of the students. Our oldest students, I guess, would be about 20 now. I think that'd be right. So yeah, and obviously focusing on the students we have now, because I have a lot, and it's amazing, and I love it. So, big update from Chapel.
Yeah, communications, Mr. Brown, next slide, please. One of the things that's like one of my favorite parts of what I get to do at Lyft is a lot of my students in the AV courses that we have work on short films throughout the semester. It's kind of like their capstone project. And so at the end of every semester, we get to put on like a full-on film fest. The last couple of it at the train depot across the street from us. They've been great to open up that space for us. Attendance is right around 100 people. That's kind of what we're averaging for that. But anyway, the kids, they make their own films. Their friends come. Some kids from other floors come and they won't get to have it. We do a full-on, like, I do this because Mr. Smith is in there and he's not here tonight. Just to give him some credit here for being part of everything we do. We do awards like live voting and everything. So if you haven't been to that, it's open to like everybody. Like, please come out and join us for that. It's like a really fun evening. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention on that we also raise funds during all those. Camp New Hope and C-Car, that's who we raised funds for the last couple. And then a lot of the Camp New Hope program participants, they came to the film fest and they had like a lot. They were all the best audience. They were really great. Elementary news partnerships. I've got a lot of the whole row of Williams people here, so they've probably seen us in the other buildings. What we do is our Lyft students go to Red Oak to Williams. They meet in a small group with like say 6 elementary kids at a time. They help them develop and plan their own shows. The elementary kids submit their ideas for the shows up front, and then we send teams out to work with them, help them with scripting, getting pictures, videos, and stuff like that. And then every other week, in the past anyway, we're working on this year, I was able to go take a district SUV, pick up about 6 students, bring them to Lyft, film shows, and then we put these shows in their daily news programs. And I wanted to, if this will work, I want to show you just this. It's just like 1 minute. This is Hugh and Dale. They're just a really good team of kids that made a good show for us. So just a piece of the Daily Williams news here. But
Toby Upton, Hayden Houston. Abigail Womack, Honor Ralph, and Lyric Ball. Happy birthday! We hope you have a great day. Hello, Williams. Welcome to What's Out There. I am your host, Hugh, and I'm your host, Dale. We're here to give you some facts about aliens and space. My theory is that because we can't see the other side of the moon, aliens are hiding out there. The planes of the weird. Did you know that in 1947, a spacecraft was found crashed near Roswell, New Mexico? In 1978, a retired air marshal said that they tried to cover up the story using a crash balloon. There's a story of an astronaut on the International Space Station about knocking from the outside when everyone was in. And the first man to step on the moon was Neil Armstrong, or Neil A for short. And what is Neil A backwards? Alien!
Yeah, that was you, Dale. Those guys they're incredible. Certifications on our floor, all these different things at Adobe. Everything from Photoshop, After Effects is like it's like special effects stuff, animation, things like that. Premiere Pro, this is our biggest one. That's the video link. So they learn how to this is like a full on people that make real movies use this to help edit their movies. So, and we've got several students who earned those certifications, and that's really given them kind of a heads up as they're a lead when they're going into college in some of these areas that they've got a lot of other students in. Next slide, please, Mr. Brown. I think there's only 2 more. last year was my second year being a part of Lyft, and we had a student, we had a small group of students that worked on Lyft News, but mainly we had Lexi Miller here, who's graduated. She did a great job. She made the all-state journalism team. Super proud of that. And we got to go to a banquet at the state where she got to meet with all these other people on the team, and just kind of a great recognition for her getting to practice all these skills like in a real world way to help make our Lyft News program, which is every other week like YouTube news that we drop, just to inform our families and other students like what are we doing at Lyft every day. So that was great. And then she has moved on. She's at Lindenwood, where she's a journalism major, so she's able to take kind of like these honors and experiences and everything with her to, again, be kind of ahead of the pack, I feel like, heading into college. GSPN, it's our Greenwich Sports Network, live streams. Mr. Smith is, I gotta give him like 99% of the credit for this. He puts together all of the pieces of this and make sure it's all up and running. We've been trying in the first 2 years to focus on, it's been basketball, both boys and girls basketball, and then football. If you tune into any of these from home, I was watching from home last Friday. It's very experimental. Like some of our camera people, this excellent young man here is from Villa Grove, not even an AV student. He's a music kid who's learning how to play the keyboard. And he was like, I'll come out and film your game. So like the camera stuff, like we're working up and down. But and then this other young man is from Oakland, and he like wants to be a sports broadcaster. So this has been a great opportunity for him to, instead of just sitting in his room and trying to like practice being a sports broadcaster, he's actually putting stuff out there. So that is what we've been up to for vacations.
Okay, now we have Riley Baker. She is one of our regional students from Okaw Valley. We appreciate her coming to your board meeting tonight. But we thought it was important for you guys to hear a perspective from a regional student.
Introducing myself, my name's Riley. I'm currently enrolled at Okaw Valley, and I used to go to school here in middle school, yeah. Used to be here in that town. And then I moved about 8th grade, and I had originally thought that I was losing all these great opportunities from that town, and that was kind of the case with Okaw Valley. If you're not going into trades, or if you're not becoming a farmer, you're kind of on your own. But I took that opportunity of being on my own to figure something out, because I wasn't going to settle. So I reached out to Jessica Patterson and fought for a board meeting for my school, because we originally didn't offer Lyft whatsoever. We don't really offer any programs except for Richland Trade. And we passed the board meeting, and I got my tuition paid for, and now I'm here. And then I'm not exactly where I want to be yet with Lyft, but I will get there. I've got a internship set up at Sarah Bush for HR management, and I'll be setting up a few more throughout the year. And I'm excited for these opportunities.
Good for you.
Next is the Neptune student, Lainey Nolte.
My name's Lainey. I'm a senior here at Lyft. Well, Elena, but everyone knows me as Lainey. I was on leadership last year, and this year I'm dual enrolled in both leadership and childcare. So I kind of get a little bit of both roles, which is right where I want to be. They always talk about the certifications that you get at Lyft, but I'm more into the skills that are implemented through Lyft, because that's what I'm about. I love leadership, and I love the skills that you get, and the networking and the connections that you get through Lyft, and it has completely changed my life. Lyft has brought so many opportunities, and it has forever been an experience that's like made me a whole new person. I've met people, I've met CEOs of companies, I've met people who are going to take me places that I had no idea could take me there. So yeah, Lyft is a great place, and Lyft is something that I will forever promote, and I'll forever be thankful for. I had no idea I would even be here. It was something that I kind of jumped into last year. My counselor brought it up to me, and they're like, "Hey, do you think you want to go to Lyft?" And I was like, "If I can get it in my schedule, let's do it." And so I did it, and I didn't look back, and it was amazing. We have this saying, it's ROI, and it's your return on investment. And so it's what you put into Lyft is what you get out, and I wholeheartedly believe that. I believe that what you put into it
no matter if that's like your work that you're putting into it, if that's going and asking the community, like, hey, can I work with you? Can I do job shadowing? Can I do internships? Can I help out? Can I serve with you? Anything like that. That's what you're putting in, and that's what's gonna help you, and that's what's gonna help others. So, that's what's changing me, and that's what's changing others, and that's what's changing this community, and that's what's changing Lyft. One thing that's also really special about Lyft is those regional students. I think making those connections and having those people that see those other sides of things and those other perspectives is what's really special about Lyft. So Lyft is a great place, and I could stand here and brag about it forever because Lyft is just amazing to me. But yeah, Lyft is amazing. So yeah.
Clarifying questions on anything from the board?
I know that this, like some of the certifications, like for the HVAC and those are definitely getting them career ready. I know that there was talk too, though, about having some of these classes be dual credit through Lakeland. Are we kind of moving towards that, or how many?
Yes,
are-
I can't give you an exact number, but yes, I know I'm teaching dual credit on the EMAC floor. Mr. Compton has it on HVAC, and Mrs. Gear has it on the childcare.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, similar to Mattoon High School where you can offer dual credit, that's contingent upon the teacher's, accreditation and the coursework that they've completed. I think it's a master's plus some additional coursework, and it depends upon what either Lakeland or other institutions within deem as necessary for a teacher to have. So it is dependent upon what the facilitator takes.
Yeah, I mean, for me to get approved, I had to go out to Lakeland and sit down with the chair of the department and kind of have a conversation about the things that I've done in addition to my degree.
Thank you.
First of all, to the two students, thank you for presenting. For the young lady from Oakland Valley, another gold star.
Yeah.
Not every young person would take the initiative to go before. Not all school boards are as warm and welcoming as ours. So to go before the school board and have that conversation, good for you.
They'll point out she never questioned it either. As soon as Mr. Butler asked, she's like, yeah, I got you. So,
Great, good for you. Gentlemen, I want to talk about the enrollment. I don't think anyone who is realistic is surprised that there isn't some kind of plateau or maybe even a small regression because we grew so much so quickly when the program started. So there is, and if you look at the map, there's a certain geographic reason for which it's plausible that kids will be able to get to Mattoon, for classes. And there's only so many kids in that circle, right? And so I would not suggest that the low hanging fruit's been picked, because that would be an insult to the hard work that's been done by everyone to build the enrollment. But it does seem now like there's got to be a second chapter written about recruiting for the facility. Are there conversations going on about that?
Every day.
Okay.
Every day,
Okay.
we do discuss that, but also with Mr. Condren, that was one of the things that we talked about when I came in, was the relationships that I have with the superintendents in the region, just from the 10 or 11 years of sitting in meetings at the ROE. This year we'll start, I think Chris and I will start attending the regional office meetings, the monthly meetings. Just to sing the praises of kids like this, but also the opportunities that these kids at schools like, for example, Cumberland, a lot of this just isn't an opportunity for them. But within 25 minutes of their home, they could travel. Now there are obstacles with that, aligning schedules from your home school to Lyft's schedules. Also, to be quite honest, transportation. Not every student has the means to transport themselves to Lyft every day. And we've been talking about that, trying to brainstorm ideas and, just trying to figure out a way that could alleviate some of the the obstacles that our kids outside of Mattoon have.
Is that what you'd say are your two biggest roadblocks, is transportation and the land?
Yeah, I think so, and I'd point you to these folks that have been doing this for a while, longer than me. I would say, as a regional, a superintendent from outside, that would be the biggest obstacle. A lot of the districts within our region contribute the student tuition to Mattoon. We do have a few school districts that aren't, so then we have to resort back to our LIFT scholarship funds to try to help those kids still, be able to attend. I believe we were able to help all students who come from a district that do not contribute the tuition come cost-free.
So can we use some of those scholarship dollars to assist with like gas cards or something, or does it have
Well,
to just be tuition?
We have went around this, just today. We were trying to figure out ways, so one of the things, I guess, getting the cart before the horse here, I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna, we were talking about regional districts maybe teaming up, for example, a school district to our east, that travels through two other school districts to get to Mattoon. I talked to Ryan about state funding or reimbursement for transportation. It used to be 85 cents on the dollar. Well, that's been prorated too. But at least that homeschool or a Villa Grove, we even ran a map, and what did we say,
If we put a bus, according to our calculations, just us sitting around the lunch table, but if we put a bus like at Shiloh, that Crispin would be able to drive to Shiloh, which would cut their drive drastically. That bus could stop and pick up at Villa Grove just outside of town. It could hit Tuscola. As it comes through, it could hit Arcola. Arthur could drive to Arcola to make that. But, those are just dreams at this point that we have to figure out logistics.
A lot of moving parts with a lot of different people in the room discussing it. But yeah, just to, there's several different ideas that we could maybe alleviate some of the barriers that our regional kids face.
Okay, thank you for that very much. Other questions from the board?
I do have
Yeah.
a question. I don't know, I heard you say something about homeschool, right? Or maybe it just popped back. But like, there are a lot of homeschool students in other districts that, are there ways to kind of promote that through parent groups in other
So we have had homeschool students come, I think we have, I don't want to say the exact number, I know we have at least one now, I don't know what that exact number is off the
from
top of
other
my head.
districts or from?
I'm not for sure where this student is from, right off the top of my head.
We've had one from Charleston, yes, we had one from Mattoon,
Yes.
as well, so, as you can hear, there's complexities in trying to solve this, right? Like, we may be able to solve it for 1 year or for one student, but then that changes, it's a moving target when it comes to the transportation piece. But I give credit to the facilitators because just like at the high school, our CTE educators have to actively recruit, right? For kids to come into their courses. If not, we see those course numbers and the enrollment in those areas start to decline. And it is a key piece of what these folks do. You hear that Chad and Zach or Lori, those programs are increasing because other kids are talking about that. And I think that continues to be something that is going to happen. The Rileys of the world, Laney's of the world who share that with other students, it will continue to grow. But I do think that it is important, it's imperative that we maintain this focus on how do we increase that. We're also doing some things on the other side of that to the human resources perspective. We've had to slide around some staff this year to other buildings throughout the district because those numbers don't support the course offerings that did once exist. So, but those courses don't go away. Those courses are still there to be offered when students have an interest in that. And that's one thing that these gentlemen are working on this year is to encourage our facilitators to look at other creative ways. And again, that's what they've done for the last 4 years now. And it's a tough job to try and find all those answers. But open to other thoughts and ideas from folks out there too that may assist them in their mission to solve this.
I mean, to add to that, it's definitely gonna take a team. There's a lot of moving parts in that, so it's gonna take all of us to continue this growth. But to give you an idea of the table, just got delivered today. We'll put a new whiteboard at our lunch table because that seems to be the place where these conversations come for parking lot ideas, because a lot of things get thrown out and they're in the conversation and then they disappear. So that doesn't occur, we're starting a parking lot as well. So we'll take any ideas and, try to work with those to make them.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, there's no business under unfinished business. Under new business, I think the superintendent's got some new business for us.
Sure. It's been a great start to the school year. I think the educators in the room can attest that this has probably been one of the best starts. Yeah, there are always hiccups, and there are always things that occur, the unexpected, but that's why they do what they do and why they love what they do. I guess a quick report out, a big shout out to the high school. One of the big pieces that this board wanted to help resolve was around the distractions for electronic devices. And the board received an email back in August, I think we were 9 days in, and we had 4 students that were sent to the office for non-compliance of that. That's pretty huge. To date, now we've had a total of 11 students that have been sent to the office for not complying with the electronic devices, and we're 20 days in. So I think a huge credit to the students, to the families, to the staff for implementing this and ensuring that, hey, we can do this. And, it is hard, right? Like, it's hard for us to get a text message even while we're sitting here and not just shoot a text message back. So not having that distraction has been a significant increase in the instructional time that's happening. So credit to them for that. We also got our first big football win last weekend. Proud of that. Have game home coming up this weekend against Salem. And then the big clash is on September 26th over at Eastern. I guess the other piece maybe would be worth noting is that
High school soccer beat
Big
JV and varsity.
no good.
They were first place, weren't they?
Wow. Big upset.
Mr. Stewart, we've got homecoming week coming up the 6th of October, right?
Yes,
And parade is on the 8th.
8th.
Right.
Wednesday, the 8th.
Okay. So
Broadway Bolt before the homecoming parade.
if board members, if you'd like to get out and catch the parade, that'll be before our next October board meeting. So just want to share that. Or volunteer for the race. Or volunteer for the race.
You can if you want, but that's not what I'm talking about. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Condren. I see no further substantive business on the agenda. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion from Ashley Overton, second from Jeff Branson. Callie, would you call the roll?
Miller.
Yes.
Hedges.
Yes.
Overton. Uphoff.
Yes.
Armstrong. Branson.
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.